Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Everybody here, if you have anything to say via super chat, thank you so very much. Let's talk about this. Give me your thoughts on Kevin McCarthy. I know a lot of people are very skeptical. I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't be too worried at all. Kevin McCarthy has already promised impeachment. So this is going to happen. Biden and Hunter, Joe and Hunter almost certainly committed, if not felonies, very, very bizarre political and financial transactions. Okay? It wasn't just consulting or nepotism or any of the lame excuses people make. Hit subscribe. We'll get to that. To my super chat again. Beverly, everyone here, tough it out. Oh, be joyful. Hello, I'm a star. Hello. Eric Samurai, thank you so very much. Tammy, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, Alice, hello. Law 2258. Eric, thank you again. Everybody here. So basically, you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where people are concerned or worried that Kevin McCarthy isn't going to do anything. But he will. Kevin McCarthy will impeach mashed potato brains. He definitely will. There's no doubt. The reason is because it actually suits the interests of the entire, not only Trump Republicans who make up the majority of the House of Representatives. Okay? All of these people had primaries, and the majority of the people who won their primaries were closer aligned to Trump, much closer aligned to Donald Trump than they were Mitt Romney or Kinzinger or Cheney. Kinzinger and Cheney have no influence or power within the Republican Party at all. They're just basically actors. They're basically, actors that the Democratic Party can look at and say, oh, look, these are good Republicans. These are fantastic Republicans. Kinzinger and Cheney voted alongside Trump 90% of the time. The real issue is that the people who don't like Trump within the Republican Party, they're afraid of the reaction. Primarily, they're afraid of the reaction of Democrats. Okay? So that's really the main thing. Okay? Here, they're afraid of the negative. This is the thing. This is the real issue with the Arizona and Georgia Republican parties. The Arizona and Georgia Republican parties like Trump's platform. They don't dislike Trump's platforms or policies. They like Trump's policies. They have no problem with Trump's policies. Never Trump Republicans don't really have a problem with Donald Trump in terms of policy. They have a problem. They don't like his personality, and they're not influential enough to ignore media or to silence out or tune out the apoplectic and hysterical media coverage. That's really the issue, ladies and gentlemen. The issue is that if you're a never Trump Republican, you might have some concerns or some differences with Trump on policy. I don't see how you would, because like I said, Kinzinger and Cheney voted alongside Trump over 90% of the time. Brian, hello. So I don't know if the policy issue is there. It's not about foreign policy. The Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, the antithesis of Lincoln Project foreign policy. Steppenwolf, hello. The issue is they don't like his personality. They feel that the media hysteria, the apoplectic, hysterical reaction of media is bad for the Republican Party. They just don't want to deal with it. Whether they truly don't like Trump or whether they feel that it's easier to just side with media, whatever the reason is. Politically, all politicians need media, okay? Some, like Trump, and now you're seeing DeSantis, can actually be very successful without the traditional media coverage. And Republicans like, for example, Jim Jordan, James Comer, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, all of media is leveled against them. They don't care. Okay, Mitt Romney cares. Mitt Romney cannot exist politically with the same type of media hysteria that Trump deals with. One rebuttal as well, he brings it upon himself. Like, no, well, sometimes you could say that, but at the same time, it's like, this is really a media battle. A lot of this is a media and public relations battle. So, you have to publicize these hearings. You have to have these hearings. Like, for example, Twitter will be a place where you can talk about the impeachment of Biden. You will not be censored or silenced anymore. You would have been censored and silenced, and publications would have been suspended, just like they were. Don't think that they learned their lesson from. Don't think that they learned their lesson. Joel, hello. Don't think that they learned their lesson from the suspension of the New York Post. That was a clear violation of free speech, First Amendment laws, because we know now the Federal Bureau of Investigation and other agencies in the government were telling Twitter to silence people. And then they came out with a press release. Well, we routinely work with media companies or other companies, private companies. No, you were telling them through... you were giving them a pretext. So this is how they do things. You have Twitter officials before Elon Musk who just needed a pretext. And they were actually deleting and banning accounts on their own. They were given access to the platform to do so. We learned that from the Twitter files. So the reason they're doing this is because with Trump, it's been 7 years. They can't find a felony. It's been 7 years. They cannot find a felony. With Hunter and Joe, the felonies are there. That's why the entire American political establishment went to bat for them. Okay? Here you have Trump tells GOP congressional supporters to cease McCarthy opposition. There's no point right now. He has an uphill battle. He has to fight for it, but that's just going to make him more like aggressive. He's going to be more like Pelosi in terms of going after the opposition. Okay? And when people say like, "Oh, well, McCarthy is a rhino, he's not going to do anything." Oh, yes, he will. If you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, and Trump backing you, you're not McConnell. You're not McConnell. So, American Girl, thank you. Spending Saturday night with HA is the best place to be tomorrow at sunset, first night of Hanukkah. Chag Hanukkah Sameach. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, American Girl. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So sweet of you. And Chag Sameach to you, and thank you so very, very much. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, American Girl. Thank you. Chag Sameach to you, American Girl. Thank you so very much. I think that American Girl, the next 2 years, is going to be pretty awesome. It is going to be pretty awesome. Now, Kevin McCarthy, if you have Kevin McCarthy, Joel Valdez, you hit the nail on the head. Mitch and company are afraid of media scrutiny because of their skeleton class. Exactly. Some have cemeteries full of them. Yes. Absolutely. That's the issue. American Girl, thank you so much. That's the issue. Joel Valdez. They don't like the hysterical, apoplectic media coverage. And by the way, Joel and American Girl, everybody here, sadly, it works. The yelling, no, Trump, democracy, democracy, no. It works. He's a Kremlin operative. It works. He was in a hotel room. Democracy. He pressured people. He's pressuring everybody. It works. It doesn't have to be accurate. These people are the ones who misinform the most. And you have these hilarious fact check. Needs context. Yeah, that's called a rebuttal, not a fact check. These people are hilarious. Like, it's like almost as if they're like, hey, we can redefine the English language. Like, no, people spoke English or their respective languages before 2016 also, or before 2019 when the media really got going. And, you know, Boda's book, hello. And so, Angie, hello. So, like, this media is, unfortunately, like Twitter was, an extension of the Democratic Party. What Kevin McCarthy and Trump Republicans in the House, what they need to do, what they must do, is uncover as much information of foul play, pertaining to foul play, criminal activity. It's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Okay, you have enough. The 10% for the big man is enough. Grand jury now knows. Okay? They're getting wealthy by promising things to various countries, various corporations, sometimes intelligence agency fronts. And that's what Chuck Grassley. Poor Chuck Grassley, before Kavanaugh's nomination process, like the day of, he had no clue what Democrats were like. He had no clue Alyssa Milano was there, and like, you know, all of Hollywood, they all would Operation Cackle Screech, and they had no clue. So he's like, this is a joyous occasion. This is a momentous, historic occasion, everybody. What? The security, can you get this person out of here? Okay. Okay, security again, can you? Okay, another security, there's more people here. What's going on? Like, he had no clue, the poor guy. But Chuck Grassley, you know, he's not like what you would call a Trump Republican, but he's definitely on, like, at the forefront of, I mean, he's awesome. Chuck Grassley's at the forefront of all of this. Trump has the income to defend himself against anything. Exactly. Others don't want to spend their ill-gotten fortunes defending themselves. Exactly. Great point. Elon Musk, same way. You can't, it's really sad when we need billionaires to save us from other billionaires. Like, these people are hilarious. They had the Washington Post and Twitter. They had Jack Dorsey and they had Jeff Bezos. And God forbid Trump and Elon Musk save the planet from these wonderful, wonderful billionaires on the left. And yes, Jack Dorsey almost certainly knew exactly what was going on, gave tacit approval. Like, I love when these people, you see this also with other industries, they're like, oh, we had to do this for our shareholders. Are you kidding me? Really? What, because you're going to face a hostile takeover, a shareholder revolt? What? You didn't have to suspend the New York Post or ban Trump. Oh, we did it. It was good for the company at the point. No, it wasn't. Why was it good for the company? Because everyone else was their typical apoplectic, hysterical reaction to Trump. Oh my God, Trump. Get over it. I mean, you had $1 to $2 billion in property damage, and I agree with why people were demonstrating. I agree, but not that $1 to $2 billion in property damage. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. 1 to 2 billion. Then they focus on one day. Well, it's like, it would be nice if Kinzinger and Cheney made one comment about the 19 lives lost and $1 to $2 billion, 14,000 arrests. And that entire summer, there were 14,000 arrests. Yes. The cause, well, here's the thing. People were arrested not necessarily because they were, not everybody was arrested because they were doing some kind of noble deed. Okay? Some people were arrested and they were out on bail because Democratic activists got them out on bail and they committed atrocities. There are like 3 or 4 examples of that. And so, but it's the it's the Democrats that are, warning the whole world about how Trump and his rhetoric, when you had Democratic activists and politicians create this unsafe environment for conservative Supreme Court justices. They love democracy when it works for them, but they go after judges. They write hit pieces on judges. You have one person who wanted to end Kavanaugh's life, and they Democrats essentially almost gave tacit approval to this. You had CNN with a journalist fire a building in flames behind the journalist. It's unbelievable. It's almost like between that and watching Fetterman debate Oz, you are watching a 90s comedy. Like a 90s comedy on politics, but it's actually the Democratic Party, and they don't see it. They went after Herschel Walker, and they tried to disparage his intellect. And they let Fetterman, who couldn't pass a sobriety test, and they went after Herschel Walker. And by the way, it's all of late night. Late night didn't touch Fetterman. Are you kidding? Oh my God, he's so courageous. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with candidate quality. It has absolutely nothing to do with candidate quality. They don't care about candidate quality. A Democratic candidate doesn't even need to actually communicate or, doesn't even need to, like I say, if you had the Pennsylvania senator and our president on a hot mic, you'd have a better chance deciphering whale sounds. Joel Valdez, they're blind to their own hypocrisy. They are. They are. They absolutely are. Joel, great point. Great points. American Girl, thank you so much. So sweet of you. Thank you. The thing is, you have a situation where they hide in plain sight, okay? You think Trump could get away with not forming a sentence? Herschel Walker was able to communicate and form sentences. The senator, the current senator of Pennsylvania now couldn't even form a sentence. Our president routinely makes things up, makes up words, routinely, and it's okay. But Herschel Walker is a big problem, and it's like they live in an alternate universe, but then they make that the political reality, because everyone from Saturday Night Live to MSNBC, they all say the same thing. They get the memo. And now we're finding out that the memo comes from the United States government. The thing is, confidence. It's really it's a battle for... Democrats care about emotion. They only care about emotion. That's the issue. And so Kevin McCarthy will impeach Biden. And then you're going to have the emotion, this is a fake impeachment. It's not a real impeachment. When conservative Supreme Court justices rule against one of their cherished, a long-standing legal ruling, Supreme Court ruling, oh my God, this is horrible, and they put the lives of conservative Supreme Court justices at risk, and they don't care. But then, when a Democratic politician, they face the same type of scrutiny where they're feeling unsafe. Oh my God, the rhetoric from Trump. Any atrocity they take advantage of, anything that happens, it's Trump's fault. It's the rhetoric from conservatives. It's the rhetoric from Republicans. But the rhetoric from Democrats didn't lead to $1 to $2 billion in property damage, or couldn't have. I'm not saying that it did directly. You had one congresswoman say, "Get in people's faces. Don't make them feel comfortable." You have routinely people on Twitter on the left. I mean, one of the activists had her own tweets shown to her, and she, well, that was more context. They'll never admit. Their whole thing on the left is don't make them, not a moment's peace. They can't have a moment's peace. And then they say, oh, Trump is his rhetoric. And the second a Trump-appointed judge rules in favor of Trump, I mean, routinely, Clinton and Obama-appointed judges rule in favor of Democrats all the time. I don't even know when they've ruled in favor of Trump. But you have a Trump-appointed judge rules in favor. Oh, my God. The hysteria. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like the worst thing that could ever happen to humanity. So, it really is it's a bizarre state of affairs, but the pendulum is swinging. It's swinging back to some sanity. They don't have Twitter anymore, and they don't have FTX. FTX was huge. They should give Sam Bankman-Fried some kind of medal, or Democrats should like erect a statue. Oh my goodness, what's that word you used? They should erect a statue of Sam Bankman-Fried. Because if you give $1 billion to Democrats, according to Elon Musk, you need that statue. I mean, they should. And these are the same people who are like, for the people, like all the left and like the left-leaning, like the far left who always vote Democrat no matter what. I mean, if you're far left, you shouldn't vote Democrat. You should probably vote Green Party or your own, political party. If you're a socialist, then vote for the Socialist Party. Okay? Or Democratic Socialists. Vote for them. What was it? Jazz pause. Or what was it? They didn't want to clap. So I don't know. God bless them. Democratic Socialists. If you're on the left, you vote. If you're on the far left and you vote Democrat, what is the point of being on the far left? You might as well just, you might as well just say, look, I believe the same things as Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer. I'm the same person. You're not like, if your entire life is spent online talking about how you don't like Democrats and how your far left ideology is the best and most moral, then why vote Democrat? Because they're not going to give you anything of what you claim to want. One reason is obviously people vote Democrat a lot of the time because they don't want to be ostracized. Joel Valdez, the squealing will commence and grow louder after the New Year's exactly. Joel Valdez. These people who disown friends and family because of politics, they might be good people, they might be fine people, they might be beautiful human beings, but they lack character. You lack character if you can't stand another opinion. And you lack care. I wouldn't even bring up. Like I don't even want to bring up politics. But like if you can't stand, you break off friendships, or I just can't get that in my mind. I always put friendship above politics. Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Eric Samurai, thank you. I always put friendship above politics. Politics is what I do. These are my YouTube channels and the stock market, but why would you put friendship above, or politics above friendship when you're ignorant to all the corruption within the Democratic Party? These people have convinced themselves that they are on the side of justice and morality, and they can't, like, here's the thing, they make absurd leaps of logic. Like, if you call Trump a totalitarian, you don't even have to like Trump. I'm not telling anyone they have to like him. You don't have to like him. It could be annoying to you if you say, I can't stand his personality. That's fine. That's actually like a rational viewpoint. If you say, like, I can't stand Trump, he's so annoying, fine. But if you say, he's a totalitarian like the 1930s and 1940s, A, you're ignorant of history. You're an imbecile. You know nothing. You dilute and mitigate and you make a mockery of what should be holy, and it's like blasphemy. You denigrate the reality, the unspeakable, monstrous barbarism, the hell on earth, the evil, the unmitigated evil, just because you don't like Trump. I mean, these people, like, basically know nothing about history. If you compare Donald Trump, to anyone in the any totalitarian in the 1930s and 1940s, you have to be the biggest imbecile on the planet, very ignorant of history, and an apoplectic, hysterical, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat. And there's a lot of smart, like, very highly educated, smart, wonderful liberal Democrats who know nothing about history. They think they do. Oh, Trump is rhetoric. It's like, well, you didn't even... you spent 7 years, you didn't even indict him. Why is that? Trump did not engage in trying to wipe out an entire group of people. If anything, the opposite is true. If anything, it's the Democratic Party and the never-Trump Republicans who have no problem with never-ending wars. But again, you're talking about people who are highly intelligent and ignorant at the same time. You have it's funny. Like, the Democratic Party is composed of very highly intelligent, wonderful, ethical, stupid people, or morally superior, highly intelligent people who lack wisdom. These people are oh my God, how dare you like Trump? Oh, who do you like? Biden. Really? Have you looked at his emails? Nothing like Trump. Well, Trump doesn't have those emails. Trump is worse. He tried to overthrow the government. Another leap of logic, because you don't like Trump, so you make a stupid leap of logic. He didn't try to overthrow any government. You imbecile. Oh, what do you call that? Yeah, that was called a terrible, horrible day with people committing crimes. Unfortunately, that took place throughout the entire summer prior to that. But again, I support why people demonstrated. The tiny percentage of people who caused $1 to $2 billion in property damage and amounted to, according to Wikipedia, 19 lives lost, 14,000 arrests, all that summer. CNN, fiery but mostly peaceful. I mean, you can't have it both ways. It's not a direct correlation. No, the cause is not a direct correlation. I mean, Trump should never have had that day. He should have realized that you can't. Democrats can protest and demonstrate on the street. If Republicans do that, it's a crime against humanity. So, and, media is never going to treat Republicans in the same manner as Democrats. Never. That's something that Trump has to understand also. He should never have had that day in D.C. And if you want to voice discontent the way Democrats did, accusing him of being a Kremlin operative, denying that, he defeated Clinton, they were the greatest deniers of his defeat of Clinton. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But he had a moment. I know it was chaotic, but before January, he had a couple of weeks. That would be a great shirt. He had a couple of weeks where he really could have spoken to the American people. He hadn't been banned. Democrats had blamed him for everything, the shutdowns. They gleefully shut down the economy. State governors, Democratic governors, Cuomo, Whitmer, Pritzker, others, gleefully shut down their states. They didn't reluctantly do it. It was like, oh yeah, the political motive, get Trump out of office. If you want to say, well, it was to save people's lives, go look at the numbers of the countries that shut down and the countries that didn't. Go look at the places like the opposite happened. And then, of course, there's a study that came out and said, oh, that's right, it basically did nothing except ruin people's lives. But it turned people into raving maniacs against Trump. Everything bad. I had people were like, oh my God, Trump. He's Trump. Grandma and Grandpa. Trump. This is serious now. You can't be on the wrong side. I can't be your friend anymore. It's like, dude, are you serious? It's Trump's fault? Yes. Well, Andrew Cuomo didn't even take it seriously at first. He said there's nothing to worry about. I don't want to hear about Andrew Cuomo. And you know who laughed at a whole bunch of policy ideas at first. We won't even bring them up. There's one bureaucrat that talks like this. Kind of like Columbo. I got a small favor to ask you. Mr. Baldwin, I got a small favor to ask you. It's just, it was mania. It was Trump contempt mania. And that's how they got, that's how like, I can't be your friend anymore. You like Trump. Yeah, but he got 70 million people. Those 70 million are bad human beings. Oh, okay. That's very logical. You are a very logical person. I am very logical. Oh, my God. It's just unbelievable. But Sam Bankman-Fried should have a statue. Democrats should give him a statue someplace. Look at all the wonderful Democratic donors. One had an island. He was a Democratic donor. One had a crypto fake phony empire. And he's like, I just like to give a lot of money to good causes, preferably PACs associated with Democrats. Their idea of this guy's idea of altruism was giving Democratic Party PACs or organizations linked to the Democratic Party. So, I'm giving money to this organization that is advocating that people live in their basement for 3 or 4 months, kind of like Punxsutawney Phil, when the next you know what comes. That's what I think is really smart. Oh, okay. Wow, not since Mother Teresa have we seen such altruism. You're an amazing person. You're a moral person. Because it's like they're completely godless, which is fine. If you are an anti-theist or you're an atheist or agnostic, that's fine. But be rational. Be rational. But because they're godless, their gods are like James Comey and John O'Brien and CNN. Can you imagine reading the New York Times and thinking that is objective reality? Can you imagine that? These people are lifelong Democrats. They would never in a million years not just vote for Trump. Trump is like Satan. They wouldn't vote for any Republican. Ever. But then you have these Republicans, my conscience is making me vote Democrat. I can't vote for Trump anymore. Oh, here comes the book deals. It's fantastic. I was accused of going from Bernie to Trump because of money. That's a pay cut. Yeah, it is a pay cut. There's a lot more money on the left. A lot more. Okay, there is a lot more. And that's why you have like a couple million sub channels. All they have to do is filter CNN for a younger audience, and they're set. Trump today investigated in Georgia. Everybody, Trump was investigated. The walls are closing in. He's guilty of something. Meanwhile, the people who actually did set up and frame Trump, it's like they did so legally. So you can't get them on an actual crime, some of them at least, because they did so legally. That was a Steele dossier. That's how they took it. It could have been true. Joel Valdez! Trump will turn up the heat after New Year's, and between that, loss of Twitter and impeachment. Exactly. That's that. He turns up the heat. Let me tell you. Joel Valdez, he turns up the heat. He starts revving those engines. There's nothing that can stop him. And he also has to make peace with the Georgia. He has to call Georgia and I was going to say Republica, Arizona. He's going to be like, I just want to call the Georgia Republican Party and the Arizona Republican Party. Let's let bygones be bygones. You have a full expense paid membership to Mar-a-Lago and 1,000 trading cards. NFT. I'm talking to you, Raffensperger. 1,000 NFT trading cards for you. Maybe we could have a deal for 24 to where you don't sabotage humanity. He needs to give them each 1,000 free NFT trading cards with him in a bathing suit, whatever. Joel, thank you so very, very much. Because if he has to, I'm the only person who enjoys. He has to make peace with the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties. That is the only way, ultimately, to move forward. McCarthy will be fine. You're going to see the impeachment. You watch in January, because I do these segments and people are like, no, whatever. In January, they will subpoena Hunter. They've already talked about it. I think it was James Comer who said he's gonna send out a subpoena in January. So either Jim Jordan or Comer. Both Jim Jordan and James Comer are awesome. Awesome. So I think that the future is bright. I mean, when you look at, ladies and gentlemen, you look at the loss of Twitter. I mean, let's look at Elon. I mean, they just can't deal with it. That was their greatest advantage. That was one of their greatest advantages, was having Twitter. So hold on one second. Twitter will start incorporating mute and block signals from blue verified, not legacy blue, as downvotes. Okay. Yeah, that was a wrong decision by Elon Musk. He should never have just put it up for a vote. They were on their way to committing crimes. The only reason they couldn't do that to Biden. You couldn't do that to a president. You couldn't follow the real-time location of a president or vice president. So why would you be able to do that to a private citizen? You certainly couldn't do that with any Democrat in Congress. Follow their flight plan. You certainly couldn't do that. So why Elon Musk? And how on earth? I mean, you have to be a complete imbecile to compare putting his life in danger by tracking his flights, which have zero journalistic value. Zero. Only done to harass and demean him and make him fearful. Zero value with the New York Post being suspended because it hurt Democrats. Not because it might have been material infiltrated by dun 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 the Kremlis. Whenever Democrats have dirty laundry, the Kremlis always want them. They always want to find out. Justin, thank you. Nina, thank you. He was. Tammy, you're right. Why would he unsuspend? It's he obviously was planning on doing it, and I don't understand how the poll. Where did he? Don't get it at all. Now and in 7 days, should have had keep the suspension or unsuspend. That's it. I mean, they're just going to do it again. He's going to suspend them again, which would be hilarious, too. That would actually be hilarious. Because now, for a second, they know what it's like to be a conservative or a Trump Republican on Twitter. For a second, they know what it's like to be Trump. They were so happy and quick to just ban everybody. Oh, yeah, ban, yeah. Suspend. We have to for the benefit of the world. And then when they were suspended, oh my God, this is what he calls free speech. I mean, you see the hypocrisy? No, you very unintelligent person. There's zero correlation between suspending the New York Post because it hurt Democrats and trying to harass and torment Elon Musk. There's zero correlation to, but then again, you're dealing with petulant, malicious people. Like, hey, it's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But there you go. I agree with you, CF Rob. That would be fantastic. That would have been so beautiful. That would have been so beautiful. You had conservatives banned on a whim. So, let's see here. So yeah, Kevin McCarthy, he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine, people. He'll be just fine. You're not going to get. I mean, Jim Jordan would have been great, but you know what? You need a Kevin McCarthy at this point because not every Republican is a Trump Republican. You do need some kind of politician that can speak to everybody, but he has the ear. Like if Trump is going to bat for him, Trump did not go to bat for Sessions or Bill Barr or any of these people like he's gone to bat for McCarthy. It was a completely different ballgame. Completely different ballgame. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to head on out. You've been so wonderful. To my super chat, thank you so much. I'll have another live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I agree with you. I'd love to have Andy Biggs. Love it. But it'll probably almost certainly be McCarthy, and he'll be fine. Everyone will see. He'll be very, very, very good. Trump is backing him for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Eric Samurai, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. To my super chat, Joel Valdez, American Girl, everybody here, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.